Brian Cage. Now you talk about a waste. You talk about a guy that is being wasted as we currently speak. Brian Cage, man. My first introduction to Brian Cage was back in TNA, maybe 20, I want to say 15 or 16. And he had I think a tryout match or something. It was a triple threat, and he was just amazing in the ring. And then not only he looks like a killer, he reminds me of a young Brock Lesnar, big muscle bound, freakish athlete. And whether he's natural or not, I don't care. But Brian Cage is one of those case scenarios of a guy that AEW had so much time to build this guy to be a killer today. And we moonwalked the entire process of Brian Cage. He started off strong in AEW. He started off very strong. He came in, ripped the ladder in half, and won I think the Casino Battle Royal, one of the first ones at that. Dominated it like he should. I mean, he looked it and they was doing everything right. When he was with Taz, the first formation of Team Taz, when he was with, Taz was his manager, basically his version of Paul Heyman. The the idiocy is just, I don't even know if that's even a word. I'm just making it up. The idiocy is just through the roof on how isn't Brian Cage at this point a 3-time world champ, 4-time world champion, and just dominating at this point. One of the most fearsome competitors in AEW is a big deal beating him. It's like their version of Goldberg, their version of Brock, their version of ECW Taz. Beating this guy is a humongous deal. No. Instead, he's a part of the big man shaming. He's a part of this system where you look WWE prototypical, so we're going to bury you. And you can't say that's not a fact of life. Every big guy is struggling. Every big guy goes in the ring and have to make Orange Cassidy and Cream Cheese Garcia, Danny Garcia, look like they're killers. Look like they're so competitive and just unbeatable. But Brian Cage can lose to anyone on the roster any given day. But Orange Cassidy can beat anyone on the roster any given day. It's like the wrestling logic 101 is just so gone in this scenario of Brian Cage. And then Brian Cage said something on an interview, I think last year. I think it was Sports Kita, or it was one of them. And he said they're pushing guys or something like that. He's pushing guys that don't look like stars. And I think he's eating that really badly. And did I remind you that early on his wife was saying the same shit early? Like, why they're not pushing him? Of course, she got backlash and he got backlash for it. Stop and start push early. And we've seen the demise ever since then. He comes back. He's part of the mobile embassy, which would Swerve, just there to make Swerve look good. Just there to be a lackey, there just to job and lose to everybody. Instead of being the mega muscle, the right hand man to Swerve, the kryptonite to Swerve if things got wrong at that time. But no, the plan was he's just a lackey, a big muscle head doofus, jock. You know what I'm saying? Just an idiot. And it's so unfortunate. What, Brian Cage is like 41, 42, something like that. So a guy that's just getting his potential wasted and wasted as we speak. It should be a crime that a guy like Brian Cage don't even get a chance to be a top guy. That should be a crime. But in AEW's world, this ideology of the revenge of the nerds type wrestling, because that's like the ideology. Because all the guys that would have been nerds, that would be nerds in high school, because they even look like nerds now. Cream Cheese Garcia and Orange Cassidy. These guys are the cool guys in this world. But the jockhead football guys that get all the hoes, these guys are the lames. I don't know. But Brian Cage is a sad situation. He could have been a prominent player for the AEW roster. It's not like they couldn't use him as a top guy, but Brian Cage is irredeemable. He's not, but in AEW's world, he's irredeemable. He's irredeemable because they're not gonna push him. I'm done holding my breath. I already drowned. And so there's no hope for Brian Cage. And that's very unfortunate. There's no hope for Brian Cage. And a guy like that can do the in-ring, he has the look, he's marketable, he's even got better at time at even talking. He's even done little promos and things like that. Like when he get little time and show that he even can speak for himself. Improving, still not good enough. Because he's a WWE prototypical project. Because they know in the WWE, if he was in NXT or SmackDown or Raw, he would be at a much better position. World champion, I don't know. But he would be in a much higher, better position compared to what he's doing in AEW. But like I said, there's no hope for Brian Cage. It's unfortunate. Like, share, subscribe. The good shit. We out.